Hey everyone, it's Rick. I'm going live on a Sunday. I'm still using the Winsor&Newton acrylic. I have a lot of it, so I'm trying to use it up, and it's okay for landscapes. I'm gonna do one here, it's like a level one. This is a level one. I think anybody can do this if you're just starting out. This is a 16 by 20 canvas. I get these at Michael's. I get like 5 of them in a pack for I think $12.99, and you can get that Winsor&Newton acrylic paint over there. So I'm gonna do a simple, maybe a little bit of snow down here since it's winter time, but maybe a mountains full of snow back here with some trees and bushes with snow underneath. But I'm going to only bring the horizon up like a third of the way up. So if you broke this into thirds, 1, 2, 3, we'll bring that horizon straight across here, okay? And then I'm not going to put maybe I'll put the mountains in there so I know how far to bring the snow down. So since I'm gonna have this center, I'll have a nice big peak over here and a smaller one over here. Uh, so it doesn't. So it's a little off center. And maybe tie these two in together somehow. But let's put some peaks coming all the way across the canvas, okay? Because this is going to be simple trees back here, maybe some light ones in the back and some darker ones in the front. This will be pretty simple. And then it's just going to be bushes down here with some trees, and then we'll put snow underneath and a little bit of water. We won't have to deal with much water with this painting, so just put that much in with the charcoal pencil and we'll get started. I'll show you the colors I'm using. I'm going to mix as I go so you can see how I do it. Burnt umber, yellow ochre, yellow, red. These are sap green. I got them in 3 different spots because I might put yellow ochre in one, I might put burnt umber in one. I know I'm going to put black in this one for the evergreen trees. I'm probably going to bring the trees pretty tall since we got such a big sky today. And this is ultramarine blue. I got a little purple here and black. No Payne's gray today. I'm going to get started with the sky. I'm going to mix. You don't want to put this ultramarine blue up there like that dark. So it's what I'm going to do is take a little bit of it here, just like this, and grab a little white and try and lighten it up a little bit for the sky. I try and put a bunch of different colors in the sky. So that's pretty good for the sky, the color of the sky. Now I want to take a little white over here and put a little black in it. Get some gray going for the mountains. I always put the mountains in dark and then I put the colors on top of it so you get some kind of undertone. Alright, so there, I'll mix the rest as we go, but let's get started on the sky. I'm going to use an acrylic filbert brush. Like I said, if you're a beginner, this is a good one for you to get started. Okay. And I have water. I got a new water jug. My Folgers plastic can there, plastic cup. So I just got my brush wet. When you put on this much paint, you wet your brush a little so that the paint flows up there. Okay, because this is a lot of space to cover, and if you don't use a flow additive, it's gonna be difficult to lay down all this paint. Okay, and I'm using a pretty big brush. This is a number 12. They actually have bigger ones than that. There's also an additive. Like I have a little water in here that has the additive in it. It works a little better than the water. And then it makes the paint look, you'll get less lines in it as well. Because I'm laying this on pretty thin with water. Because I know I'm going to mix some other colors up in there. Let's put a little purple in there. This is violet. I'm going to grab a little white over here. Not even wipe my brush off, and just mix a little white into that violet. And let's put a little violet up in here. Just throw it up in the blue there for now. Let's put a little gray. Grab a little gray. Don't even wipe your brush off. And let's put a hint of gray over here. Just like that. Now rinse your brush off. We're going to get a little more blue. Bring some more blue down. Now we're getting close to the mountains, so I'm going to grab some titanium white now and mix it in with the bottom of the blue here while it's wet, and bring that color down to the mountains. Start mixing some white into the bottom. Bring it down to the mountains. Just like that. Let's take a little bit of white and add it into this gray up here. Just blend it into the gray. A little bit of white. Maybe at the bottom part of it. Let's put a little white in that purple. Up here at the top. That looks good. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to rinse the brush off in water and dry it with a paper towel. And while this is still kind of wet, I'm going to try and blend it in, okay? Just wipe your brush off and let's blend this down a little bit, okay? Wipe your brush off occasionally. Just blend it in. Wipe your brush. Alright, that looks good enough for now. We're going to put some clouds up there later. Isn't that a cool sky so far? Got a little gray up in there. Purple, a hint of purple there. Let's put the mountains in now with that gray. I'm going to use the same filbert brush. I'm going to bring this gray maybe down to here. So just, I like to do the peaks first. Get the outline of the peaks done. You can dip your brush in the water just a little so you can get a nice cut on the top of your mountain there to make them look pointy. And then just fill your brush up now and start bringing it down, the gray color. This is all going to get covered. This is just the undercoat, okay? Bring it down about halfway. Wet your brush a little, and you don't even have to fill them in all the way because we're going to cover it with snow. So down here now, grab a little white. Don't even clean your brush off. Just grab some titanium white at the bottom, and let's bring it down to that horizon line, lighter gray. Just like that. Very good. Let's put our water in next. I'm going to put all the colors in first, and then we'll start painting. So with the water, what I want to do is I want to lighten it up a little more. So I'm going to take the color from the sky, add a little more white in it. Hoping you can see that. And just a touch of gray. Just touch the gray and put it in there. Alright, and let's run our water across the bottom of our mountains there. Straight across. Wet your brush a little. Grab the paint and go across horizontal. This is going to be water. If you put it in horizontal, it'll help make it look like water in the end. You can get a little bluer as you come forward. Let's bring it down to there because we're going to have bushes down here. Very good. Now what I want to do is same thing how we lighten this gray up. I want to lighten the back of the water up. So grab a little titanium white on your brush, and in the back, let's lighten up that water with some titanium white. Just in the back. And then blend it in. It's going to help it look further away. So look how easy this is so far. So this is a level 1. This is a level 1 painting. But it's going to look good. Trust me. Let's put in some bushes down here now. So now it's time to mix some sap green and some black, okay? I'm just going to do it now because I'm going to need it for all the trees. So what I do, here's my sap green. I'm going to take a little bit of black on my knife and start mixing it in there so it's dark. A little darker. You want it to almost look black, but it'll go on green. I like to put all my bushes in dark because then when you lighten them up, then you automatically have shadows at the bottom, okay? So that's all I do. That's sap green with some black, okay? Now let's put in some bushes down here. We could try a fan brush if you want. This is if you have a oil fan brush, let's give it a try. So you don't need much water on this part now. So let's fill up the fan brush and let's create some bush tops first, going across the water. So these fan brushes work pretty nice for making bush tops. See that? Very good. Now let's just keep coming down. Just keep coming down with the color. You can, this is called stamping. You can stamp it in. It'll give it some texture. Or you can brush it in. Either way. A lot of people don't like the stamps. They'd rather brush it in. But this gives it some texture. We'll fill it all in dark because then I'm going to highlight these with lighter colors. Then you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. Look at that. It already looks like a cool scene, you know. Now back here, I'm going to do something simple back here today. I'm going to start with a light color back here. I'm going to mix some where'd my knife go? Oh, there it is. All right, so I'm going to take the other green now, and let's put in some yellow ochre into that, okay? So just like we mixed the other sap green up, but we're going to put yellow ochre in this one, okay, to lighten it up. Yellow ochre. What this is going to be is some trees in the back, and then in front we're going to put some darker. Now we're going to take this sap green and take a little bit of the burnt umber. Okay, burnt umber. Add it into that sap green. Maybe a little more, so it looks like a brownish. We want like a brownish green. There we go. So we'll have the lighter color in the back and then a darker on top. But so there's all the greens mixed. But we're going to put the snow on the mountains first. So since this is going to be a snow scene, I'll probably put a little bit of snow down here. I'm going to use bright white on the mountains here. And for the other side, I'll mix a little blue in it for the shadow side. So I got to put a little more. This is Winsor&Newton titanium white. That's it. This is going to be a snow scene, so don't worry about all. We'll put all the white snow on the right side of the mountains. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do it right now. Just pull a little white out like that, and then get a roll on your knife. I'm going to start on this peak first, and go to the right side of the peak and follow the the edge of the mountain down and just pull it to the right, okay? Don't come down straight because these mountains they're not really tall. So follow the edge of the mountain and pull it to the right. Okay, just like that. Let's do each peak like that first. And don't press so hard. Let some of the color underneath show through. You could have the top can be pretty bright white if you want, but when you get down near the bottom, start letting the paint break a little. It'll automatically do it because your blade's going to run out of paint. But today we can have as much snow up there as you want because this is going to be a snow scene. Just pull it to the right because these are not tall mountains, okay? If you come down too much there, it's going to look funny. So just take your blade and pull it down to the right. Look at that. Man, that already looks good. Now we could design our mountains a little now, like by putting more white over here to make this mountain turn a little. You see how I did that? Just get a little bit of more color on your knife and we can make these mountains adjust them a little, okay? By adding more color underneath. Just like that. If you want to, you can put more peaks in here, but I think that's enough. Take a little bit of paint on your blade and we can put a few hills in here like this. Just take your knife and drag it in there like that. That looks good. Now let's do this side of the mountain. We're going to take some of this ultramarine blue and some white, mix it together. There's a little bit of gray under there, but that's all right. We want it like a bluish. You could put a little gray in it. We can add a little gray to it to dull it up a bit. Now this is still going to be snow, but it's just in the shade, okay? So now everywhere you put white, you're going to come just to the left of that and pull this bluish color to the left, okay? Even down here where you see how it's flat here, you're going to end up pulling a little bit of color underneath it so it looks like a cliff, okay? Just a little bit of blue. So come up right next to the white and pull that blue color. You can leave some of that gray in there if you want. It'll help it look cool, okay? I'm going to leave some of that gray right there because it adds to the flavor of the mountain, okay? It gives it more color. This is a quick way to do mountains. You can work on this for a long time if you want, but by adding, you know, darker colors in there, some more shadows, but this is just a quick way to get your mountain going, okay? This is like a cliff down here, see? So, see how simple this mountain was so far? Just two colors, white and a little bit of blue and white and gray. If you put your snow on the white, just like how I did it, your mountain should turn out pretty good, okay? Uh, and where you put these white streaks, just put a little bit of blue underneath it. It'll create like a shadow, okay? Just a little bit of blue. Wow. Man, I really like that. Isn't that amazing? This is, I think you could do this. This is an easy painting. So far, all we got is blue sky, mountains, water, and some bushes. So, really simple, okay? Now down here, I'm going to try and, I'm going to take a wet brush with a little bit of white and kind of blend the bottom in a little bit down here with some white. Just to lighten it up down there. Just hitting the bottom of the mountain very lightly to soften up the bottom part. You don't have to do this if you don't want. It's going to help it look like maybe some fog. Okay, it's going to help it look further back too. Wow, it's pretty good. All right, now we'll let that dry, then we could do our greens back there now. So we'll let that dry a little bit. I guess we could do some clouds now. Let me see where I'm at in the video. I don't want this to be too long. It shouldn't be too long. 27 minutes, not bad. Let's see if there's anybody on. Dino's on. Dino from Taiwan. Yeah, thanks. I think you're still on. I saw 4 people on there, but they're gone now. We got 1 person on. Hopefully that's you, Dino. Yeah, if you get your brushes out and give this a try. This is a simple painting here. Let's do some clouds. Let's do some clouds, all right? I'm going to mix I think I'm going to do them in white, and then I'll just highlight them if I need to. So I'm going to do, because it's a snow scene, I'll do some white clouds up here. Trying to think of what kind to do here, because we got 2 big peaks here. We really got no anything behind, so let's see. Let's start with some small mountains down here. So when you do your clouds, I'm going to use this number 12 filbert. And I'm going to make some small clouds down here at the bottom. And you don't need any water anymore, okay? No more water. Just grab a little bit of white on your brush, okay? And let's start with some small clouds down here. Let's bring it from the edge here, and with your filbert brush, just stamp in the top of some clouds here. And let's put a bigger one right here over this mountain. Big cloud here. And over this peak, we're going to put a big one. Just a big cloud right over the top of that one. And then over here, a small one at the bottom. Bring it to the side. Now grab a paper towel in your hand and wipe it off. Wipe the paint off. And come over here to the first cloud. And at the bottom, pull it to the right, the bottom. This one here, let's pull the bottom of the cloud to the right. Just the bottom part. Kind of blend it into the sky a bit before it dries. You got to work fast with acrylic, so just pulling the bottom of the clouds to the right. Trying to blend them into the sky, okay? Just at the bottom. Now with your brush again, come back in here on the top and restamp the top parts with your filbert brush. Very lightly. Very good. Okay, now we're going to do some bigger clouds up higher. And then I'll show you how to highlight these clouds to give them shadows and stuff in a little bit. Up here I want to have a big cloud in this corner. So I'm going to grab some white. I'm going to leave this top part gray up here. So I'm going to start the cloud from the right and just stamp in the top part of a cloud. Just pretend like you're making the top part of the cloud, okay? And let's make this one a little bigger. And now let's pull the bottom. Pull the bottom to the right. Wipe your brush off. Pull the bottom. And take your brush again and restamp the top a bit. Very good. It's a big cloud. I like that. Let's put a cloud from the side here, the one behind this one. Just a small one here. And we need one up in this corner now, so. Pull this one to the left. Very good. Pretty good, pretty good. I'm just doing simple clouds right now. I'm going to rinse my brush off and come in here and stamp the tops here. me see how this is looking. It's a lot of clouds. I don't have them layered, but I'm going to figure something out. I'll bring this one so it's kind of behind this one here. Just fill it in. So it looks like it's layered a bit. Okay. So I'm going to take a little bit of the color, some gray now, and put some dark color underneath. So I'm going to take a little gray here and get a little white and get a light gray color. Let's do it on these small ones first and see how it looks with the, it might be too dark. Yeah, I'm going to lighten it up a little more. So just put some more white in that gray. You don't want it too dark. Just a lighter color than the white. Put some shadows underneath these clouds here. All right, now rinse your brush off. Rinse your brush off and then dry it a bit. And then let's come in here and blend that gray into the white, into the bottom of the cloud. Very good. I'm going to brighten up some of these clouds now. They're starting to soak into the paint because it's a level. This is a level 1 acrylic. Sometimes you'll have to re-stamp the top of your clouds if they start fading into the blue. That's all you got to do though, is just hit them again with some white and then just pull it into the gray underneath. All right, looks a little better. See how they have some kind of a shadow underneath there now? I'll do a little more in a little bit. I'm going to show you how to put some more clouds in there, some easier clouds. So I'm going to grab my number 2 oil fan brush now, and I'm going to put some evergreen trees over here now. Using this dark sap green that I mixed the black with. You just got to wet the brush just a little, okay? And fill the fan brush up with that color. Let's put a tree over here. Maybe right in between these 2 peaks here, okay? Right about in between. Now let's make an evergreen tree right here. I'm using the corner of the brush and I'm going to put my leaves on. I'm just touching the canvas with the brush, okay? Just design design your branches as you come down. Make it look like an evergreen tree. You know what a tree looks like. And you can fill the branches in as much as you want, or you can leave space in between the branches. Look at that. Doesn't that look cool? Let's fill up one right here behind it, a small one. I like to put as much in as I can. We'll put one that's like right behind it here. Just a really small one. It'll look like it's behind it going off into the distance there. Doesn't that look cool? That's a cool scene so far. Really simple, but I know somebody will buy this. And what's good about acrylic, this thing will be dry tonight, and I can go sell it. Tomorrow I can bring it to the place where I sell the paintings. I gotta mix a little more of this color because I want to put some trees over here. So I already ran out. So I'm gonna put a little more sap green down here. Okay. Then I'm gonna mix it with grab some more of the black here and just mix it in there. You'll see in a second why I make it dark, because I'm going to highlight it and it's going to get lighter, okay? Sap green and black. If you live in a part of the world where you don't have these evergreen trees, that they're really dark when you go out there in the woods. They're really dark green. All right, let's do a big tree over here now. I wanted to do one that's pretty tall, so it'll make the clouds look better too. So let's put one right on the edge, a tall one here. All the way down. Look at that. This is going to be a big one. Just take your time with these leaves. You don't have to go fast. And you don't have to, it doesn't have to look perfect either, so. I like to come down and then I'll adjust my branches after I'm done. This one's more on the edge, so you can just fill these all the way into the edge here. And you can, these bottom ones usually come out and then down a little bit because they're so heavy, the ones at the bottom. Just filling in this down here with color to make it look fat. Okay. Wow, look at that tree. It's gonna look cool once I put all these bushes in down here. So doesn't that look cool? Let's put a little small one right here. Just a small one, maybe at an angle here. Might not even show up. But you know what? Now we got to put in, I forgot about the bushes in the back. We're going to have to do them just in the middle now. That's all right. Still looks good. I still like it. So now we're going to use this light green that we made with the yellow ochre. I'm going to use the number 2 fan brush, and what I'm going to do is just put some green color back here with the fan brush. All the way across, okay? And at the bottom, just pull it to the left or right. Just a little bit of pull on the bottom. Okay, let's let that dry, and I'm going to put some darker color in front of it. If you can get some of this green to show up over here. That side's all covered, but look at that. Doesn't that look cool? We're almost done. I'll probably use some of this green to, you know, highlight some bushes down here. I'll show you that in a little bit. I want to get the rest of this back here done. So now we're going to use this darker sap green with the burnt umber in it. Just fill your fan brush up. Now we're going to put some darker trees in front of that green. Just bring some dark color across the bottom of that green, okay? Bring it down to the water. Take your brush now and try and pull straight across the bottom. Just like that. All right, so we got 2 layers of trees back there. You can make some of this higher in the middle if you want. Get some different heights going on there. Very good. It's looking pretty good. Pretty good scene so far. Pretty easy. Let's see where I'm at. 48 minutes. I did a painting the other day. It's doing pretty good. It's getting looked at a lot. It's the one I did almost like, I think it was a sunset. And it's getting a lot of views. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to highlight these evergreen trees with some color. Since our light is really coming from the right over here, I'm going to highlight the side of these trees to give them dimension. So I'm going to use this, the way I do it, just for the trees, I'm going to use the same dark color and grab a little white over here and mix it in here into this dark. You're going to get like a light greenish gray color. Okay, fill up your fan brush. Let's highlight this big one here first. And use the corner and come down on the right side of this tree very lightly. Just tap the top parts of the branches, okay? You're going to have to guess where the branches are down here, but see that? Now it looks like it's got some dimension to it. This one back here, you just got to barely hit this one in the back on the right side. Let's do that big one. Let me move the camera so I can get in here. I'm going to use the same color. It's got white in the dark sap green. Just try and hit the top part of the leaves and leave some dark underneath on the bottom, okay? You could put some in the middle here. I highlight this little one a little. That's all you got to do, just to give it some color. Doesn't that look cool? All right, now it's time to highlight those bushes. I want to use some different colors now. So I'll start out with and get some more white. This is a good painting for you know, someone that's still getting started. Okay, I could have done some easier clouds, but those aren't that hard to do. I didn't even really put them in a good fashion, so I'm going to put some other ones on top of it. But let's highlight the bushes on this side. I can kind of already see some bushes here. What I'm going to do is make a couple rows. So I need a little more white. So what I'm going to do is add, we'll stick with this same color. I'm going to add a little more white to this one. And start with some small bushes down here at the bottom. Okay. Just tap in some color like that. I'm going to do a few on this side as well, the same manner. It takes a little practice. You got to kind of pick out. What I like to do is make a few of them and see how they're going. See, like this is the bottom of the bush here, this dark area now. And don't press too hard because you want to leave some of that dark color in there. Now I want to use a bunch of different colors, so I'm just going to add one more over here with this color, small bush over here, and maybe one over here. Now I want to get some different colors going, so I'm going to add a little white to this green here now, okay? Just a little bit of white. And hopefully we'll get a different color green going. You don't want too much paint on there, so I'm wiping that off and reloading my brush. Okay, you just want a little bit of paint. So now let's add some bushes on top of these here with this, it's going to be a darker green. Very good. You see how that's looking now? And I'm going to add one more over here. And now I'm going to get some yellow ochre going and put some more different colors in there. See the yellow ochre over here? So I'm going to rinse my brush off. And I want to mix a little bit of yellow in there to maybe brighten it up a bit. I got too much paint on my brush, so I'm going to wipe it off and reload it for these bushes. If you got too much paint on there, it's not going to look right. You won't be able to lay the paint down properly. So let's put a bush here with this yellow ochre. Barely touch it, okay? Barely touch it, so some of the dark color stays in there. Let's put a small one here in between the green. When you start adding other colors in here, it'll make the green stand out more, okay? So let's put a yellow ochre right in here. These take a little practice, but if you can get this down, your paintings will look a lot better. I'm going to load this all up with bushes here. And if you make them all the same color, it's not going to look right. So you want to use different colors, okay? This yellow ochre really makes the green stand out, okay? Let's put one down here, yellow ochre. And I didn't use, I mixed a little yellow in it to brighten it up a bit. Doesn't that look cool? Now we could put some darker ones over here by adding, let's add a little burnt umber into that yellow ochre. Now, just a little to get a different color over here. Gotta wipe my brush off and reload it. Otherwise, you won't get it to separate properly. You just want to tap it. Let's see. Let's put a dark one down here. See what it looks like. Might be too dark. I think it's okay. Put a dark one here. In the shadows. Doesn't that look cool? I'm probably taking too much time on this, but I think this is a really good, helpful way for you to do this. So over here, I guess I'm going to add a little yellow to that and brighten it up a bit. And we'll put some bright ones. I just added a little more yellow to it. And we'll put some bright ones over here on the side. There we go. All right, I'm liking that. That's good enough. Let me, so on this back section here, we need to put a water line back here. You could put a shadow in the water if you want. Maybe we should do that so the picture looks right. So I'm going to grab a acrylic brush, a number 8 filbert brush here. And this color that I used for those trees was this one over here, remember? And I'm just going to get a little paint on my brush. And I'm going to try and mimic what's up there on the shore in the water here. Just stamp some color in the water. Doesn't have to be dark. It's going to dry fast, so rinse your brush off and kind of dry your brush off a little bit and kind of pull down on that color, not too far, just kind of mix it into the water. Just like that. Now wipe your brush off real quick and then go across the water with your brush very lightly, just like that. Now with the knife, like how you did the snow up here, I'm going to grab a little white on my blade, a little roll, and right where the water is on the bottom, I'm going to run a water line across there. And then you got a reflection there in the water. You see that? I got one person on. Hey, how's it going? Doesn't that look cool, that reflection? You see how I did that? Dino's still on, I'm thinking. I don't know if he's on, really. But I see somebody's on. That reflection came out good. You don't need to do the green because the green would be too far back. I don't think it would get in there. Yeah, how you doing, Dino? From Taiwan, huh? From Taiwan, yeah. Very nice. Nice to meet you. All right, so now we got to put some more water lines. I'm just going to do this simple. I'm going to use a knife and the same manner. Just get a little bit of white on your knife. And let's put some small ones back here. Just take your knife and go across the water. And let's bring some forward like it's running. So I do this with the knife. Keep your knife straight when you put this in. Just keep your knife going like this, and then it'll help it look like water, okay? This will look like it's floating on the water, okay? Look at that. It's looking pretty good. I don't like how I did the clouds, but everything else is good. Look at these bushes, man. Wow. We could put some tree trunks in here, mix a little bit of the brown, the burnt umber, with some white. And then take your knife and just touch where you think the tree trunks are in there. Just a little, okay? Not too much. It'll look like the tree trunk, okay? It's looking pretty good. I really like it. Let's see where I'm at. 64 minutes. Wow. I really like that. I want to mix the sky now with some different clouds. Let me get a little more white out. This is a different way to do clouds with a knife. Just get a little bit of white on your knife, and we're going to put some color up here like this, okay? Right over the other clouds, okay? Just get a little bit of color on your knife. That's enough. Now I'm going to get my filbert brush and then clean it with water and then dry it off. Dry it with a rag or a paper towel. And let's come up here and lightly blend those. Very lightly. All right, that's good enough. I like that. That gives it a little more style. I think I'm going to come back and fix all these clouds, but that's enough for today on this video. I got to get up early tomorrow, so I got to get ready for bed. I work at Michael's, and every Monday the truck comes in early. Comes in early in the morning. I left my brush in the cup of water, and the tip kind of bent on me. So I can't make any birds right now. Put some birds up there. And then you can put twigs down here. It always looks good to have some twigs like over the water. But my brush, I kind of ruined it. There we go. All right, that's all I'm going to do. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that one. I really like it. I like everything except the clouds, but I think it came out good. It's pretty good painting. I like the bushes, the way the bushes came out. All right, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. I got some cool stuff coming up this winter, so I was going to put some snow down here, but I guess I'll do it on the next video. I want to do a snow scene, so you got that to look forward to. All right, guys, have a good one. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks, Dino, for watching. You used to live in New Hampshire, huh? Cool. Taiwan, you probably don't get any snow over there, huh? All right. Well, thanks for watching, Dino. Have a good one, and we'll talk to you later.